Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. Today, Auroville, Part 6, about aspiration, small community, and a small group who come to see Mother each week. Mother. But there is a long way to go between what we are and what must be. And for that, we must be very flexible, never losing sight of the goal, but knowing that we cannot reach it at one bound, and that we must find the way. Well, that is much more difficult, even more difficult than to make the inner discovery. Truly speaking, that should have been made before coming here. For there is a starting point when you have found within yourself the light that never wavers, the presence which can guide you with certitude. Then you become aware that constantly, in everything that happens, there is something to be learnt, and that in the present state of matter, there is always a progress to be made. That is how one should come, eager to find out at every minute the progress to be made. To have a life that wants to grow and perfect itself, that is what the collective ideal of Auroville should be. A life that wants to grow and perfect itself. And above all, not in the same way for everyone, each one in his own way. Well now, there are 30 of you. It is difficult, isn't it? When there are 30,000 of you, it will be easier, because naturally there will be many more possibilities. You are the pioneers. You have the most difficult task, but I feel it is the most interesting one, because you must establish in a concrete, durable, and growing way the attitude that is needed to truly be an Aurovillian. To learn every day the lesson that is needed to truly be an Aurovillian. To learn every day the lesson of the day. Each sunrise is an opportunity to make a discovery. So with that state of mind, you find out. Everyone does. And the body needs activity. If you keep it inactive, it will begin to revolt by becoming sick and so on. It needs an activity. It really needs an activity, like planting flowers, building a house, something really material. You must feel it. Some people do exercises, some ride bicycles. There are countless activities. But in your little group, you must all come to an agreement so that each one can find the activity which suits his temperament, his nature, and his need, but not with ideas. Ideas are not much good. Ideas give you preconceptions, for example. That is a good work. That work is not worthy of me, and all that sort of nonsense. There is no bad work. There are only bad workers. All work is good when you know how to do it in the right way. Everything. And it is a kind of communion. If you are fortunate enough to be conscious of an inner light, you will see that in your manual work. It is as if you called the divine down into things. Then the communion becomes very concrete. There is a whole world to be discovered. It is marvelous. You are young. You have plenty of time before you. And to be young, to be really young, we must always keep on growing, developing, progressing. Growth is the sign of youthfulness, and there is no limit to the growth of consciousness. I know old people of 20 and young people of 50, 60, 70. And if one does manual work, one keeps in good health. So now you must find the solution. 24th March, 1970. Come in, Mother laughs. Those who enter offer flowers to the Mother. Pointing to the flowers named Service, she says, laughing, "Service to Auroville." Mother arranges the flowers and distributes them. While giving service and transformation flowers, she remarks, "It is service which leads to transformation." I mean it seriously. Mother speaks to those who will come to see her once a week about Auroville. I am going to set 2 conditions. To want to progress. That is really a moderate condition. To want to progress, to know that everything is yet to be done, everything is yet to be conquered. The second condition, to do something every day, some activity, some work, anything, something which is not for oneself, and above all, something which is an expression of goodwill for all. You are a group, aren't you? Simply to show that you do not live solely for yourselves, as if you were at the center of the universe, and the whole universe had to revolve around you. That is how it is for the vast majority of people, and they don't even know it. Each one should become aware that spontaneously one puts oneself at the center of the universe and wants everything to come to oneself, just like that, in one way or another. But one should make an effort to recognize the existence of the whole, that's all. It is to widen one's consciousness, just to become a little less tiny. So those who adhere to my program will come once a week, in turn. Is that all right? To see. As for you, I shall give you a rose for your mother, because she likes them very much. So you will give her this, and you will come. You should not come on the same day, because it takes too much time. What day? Gee, Monday is all right, Friday too, to see. Which day is more convenient for you? Monday, sweet mother. So on Monday, you will bring me news of your gardening. Very good. We must have a beautiful garden. Well then, is it all right? I shall see you next Tuesday with someone, anyone. It's all the same to me. You can just tell me when he comes. Those who want to progress and who think that the world is vaster than themselves, than their own consciousness. The young boy, the young Tamil boy who is coming, what are you teaching him, English or French? Oh, for the moment, we're not really teaching him anything. Mother, poor little fellow, you simply put him to work? Oh no, not only that. Gee, they feed him as well, sweet mother. Gradually, as he comes more often, we will organize something and teach him French. Mother, you must involve him in the life there, and then it would be interesting. When children hear you speak, they want to know what is being said, and they learn the language. Indians are wonderful at learning languages. They can learn 4 or 5 languages without mixing them up. This young boy would learn very well. It would be a good thing. I am going to give each of you a packet to keep the contact. You are familiar with these packets. You must keep the packet. In English, there are some petals, flower petals inside, but they are charged with force. And if you keep them upon you, the contact with me is kept. So if you refer inside when you withdraw, if you refer inside, you can re-establish the contact and even have an answer to a question. C, referring to I, who wrote to Mother, asking how Aurovillians should relate to the local villages. This is L. He is the one who asked the question. For your questions. The best way, you see, it is education. To educate them not by words and speeches, but by example. If you can make them mix with your life and your work, and they get the influence of your way of being, your way of understanding, then little by little they will change. And when they become curious and ask questions, then it will be time to answer and to tell them what you know. Then I say it in English, because I have been told that in aspiration there is a big number of cats and dogs. Is it true? You know, I have nothing against cats and dogs. I have kept some also at one time. But the climate is not good. It is almost impossible to avoid rabies. And then you understand it becomes dangerous and you will have to kill them, which is not a pleasant business. It would be better to diminish the number as much as possible. I have been obliged to ask not to keep dogs. Some keep them all the same. But you can't have a pleasant contact with them. They carry the illness. There are some diseases, rather serious, and dogs, cats, carry them. I don't want to give nasty descriptions, but it is not safe, and it cannot be peaceful. Do you know the illness they carry? There are two. One is plague, the other is leprosy. They are not allowed to come in? A. No, not in the huts. But even so, they are in the camp. They are often in the cafeteria, where we have our meals. Mother. And then, well, they breed. Laughter. There is no end to it. And breeding, what can we do? Drown them all? It is not pleasant. Naturally, you could easily tell me, if we chase them away from here, they will go somewhere else. But anyway, what I would like is that this should not be encouraged. You know, you will have more cats and dogs than human beings. That's how it is. Then, there's one interesting thing you could do. Far, far away, in some deserted area where no one lives, you could put them all together in a protected area so that they could not get out. Then they will find something to eat. Say, a spot of virgin forest. They still exist in India. With cats, it is very easy. When a cat has kittens, if you carry the babies off somewhere and put them there, the mother never comes back. She stays with the little ones. Something should be found, a remote spot. They still exist in India, but not on Auroville land. In fact, all I am asking you to do is not to allow the number to increase. In any case, one day you will come to me all in tears saying, life has become unbearable. Laughter. So I am warning you.